Hello, Libra. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we have a Prince of Cups, a fixed water energy. I feel like you're somebody who is very aware of your own truth. And I think that you're very sensitive to the energies around you. Okay? Vibes matter for you. And when you walk into a room, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. You've learned to trust yourself. You're living in a very authentic way. And you're not trying to force yourself to believe in something or forcing yourself to remain in a situation where the vibes aren't there. Okay? You're not trying to squeeze yourself into a place where it's obvious that the energy frequency is not one that you're tuned to. Okay? You're trusting yourself. You're not trying to feels like you're not trying to force yourself to stay in a situation and feel a certain type of way. And it's kind of because that feels inauthentic, right? It feels like there's some pressure around you that's trying to get you to feel. It almost feels like you're being like gaslighted, okay? Or is it gaslit? I don't know. But that's kind of what it feels like. It feels there is a resistance in you to emotional pressure. You're a bubble in an ocean, right? This is air and water here. And so I feel like you're kind of making this energy shift toward just a more authentic way of being. You know, your intuition is louder than the sort of noise around you. And I want you to claim this card. I want you to say, I'm living authentically. Okay? I want you to choose this because there is emotional pressure on you right now. And to me, it feels manipulative. Let's put this card into some context. Let's see what's going on. Three of Swords, yeah. Okay. The Three of Swords front and center. I think this is you realizing that you have, in the past, as we all have, you have been, you've been on the receiving end, let's say, of some emotional manipulation. I feel like you're not doing that anymore. This fire energy underneath you, right? Ace of Wands, Six of Cups behind you, Three of Cups above you, Three of Pentacles. Ooh. This is nice. Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles. I feel like you are aligning your emotional and even your physical, maybe financial world, coming into a wonderful alignment because you are reclaiming your energy. Okay? You are, let's say, reclaiming your emotional sovereignty. Okay? Your emotional truth, your authenticity. Stepping into a reality where, security and affection can be aligned, can come hand in hand. Okay, I think this is really, really nice. Let's keep going here. We have a Hierophant. We have, an Empress too. I do feel like there is earth and there's kind of water, right? There is the very practical wisdom, which I think to me is kind of like finances, or physical growth, right? And yet there is the emotional growth and emotional security and affection. Love and affection, security, financial and emotional worlds, taking priority here. And they're both expanding, okay? There we have a Princess of Cups. And finally, the Nine of Pentacles, perfect. This is a time, a season for you where your emotional life is going to expand. because now you understand what you're not going to tolerate, what you're not going to put up with, and what you will, and what you do want. And so you're kind of taking your power, you're taking ownership of that. Okay? Your emotional life is going to expand. Better relationships. Okay? I think there is a key partnership that's coming into play in your life that is going to be a real benefit to you. Something that's going to bring some unexpected support or blessings to you. Okay? I think your emotional life is expanding. I think your physical, financial world is expanding as well. Now let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to take a random one here and put it underneath our big red ant. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message, Libra, you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down beneath the video. Okay? Give me a yes in the comments if you're with me so far. Let's look around the room, and let's see our two major arcana energies. These are the big spiritual shift for you. Emotional well-being, comfort, love, safety, security, growth, cultivating the garden of delight, okay? And then also the Hierophant, okay? The kind of inner wisdom, but also a very practical wisdom. I believe that this is the financial expansion, this is the emotional expansion, okay? The Three of Swords here, with your authentic Prince of Cups. I think this is really saying that, like, there's no more guilt or fear or shame or sorrow about you living your life in an authentic way. So it's implying that at one point in your life, you kind of felt guilty for feeling how you felt about things, wanting what you wanted. You felt guilty for maybe not feeling the way somebody wanted you to feel. This is no more. You're recognizing this. You're saying, wait a minute, this isn't the way to live. Okay? So this is the big kind of the obstacle really that you're overcoming is this, the willingness to live your life feeling how you feel, being honest with your deeper feelings about things and your surface level feelings. Maybe it's just some things you just don't like the way they taste and you don't want to eat it. Fine. Then the deeper things too, things that say, that doesn't resonate with me or that over there does. You could walk into a room, you can feel the vibes and you can trust those vibes without any kind of guilt or shame or remorse. And now this is you with the ability to receive all the gifts and all the blessings of the universe without any kind of guilt or fear. Okay, so you're going to be amplifying the emotional and the physical fulfillments, okay? Because you're overcoming any kind of obstacle that you've had. Okay, the Three of Swords is usually something that is created in childhood. It's usually a complex, okay? And it feels to me like somewhere along the line, you were taught that liking what you like, wanting what you want, feeling how you feel was a bad thing. And so like a kid touching a hot stove, ouch. The stove's hot, not going to touch the stove anymore. You were taught somewhere along the road that your feelings were wrong. Okay? That anytime you felt the way you felt, maybe you got punished for it. Anytime you expressed yourself or you were honest or you were authentic, it went bad. So it's kind of that hot stove, and you're not going to touch it again. Recognizing that complex, being able to shine some light on this and say, I don't need to let this be my default mode, is allowing you to open yourself up and receive all these blessings, because now you're trusting yourself. You're following your bliss. You're living authentically. You're being true to yourself. You're honoring who you are. Now, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. If you're going to honor who you are, let me know in the comments, okay? And a real shout out to everybody that is striving to overcome their fear and striving to live an authentic life. Okay? So we've got our two majors. We've got fire under the surface. This is the spark. This is what you need to claim, really, is this fire. Put fire in the comments for me. Give me a heck yes and give me a fire, okay? Fire, we've got water, 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 water. We've got air that blocks all the good water. And we have the earth, okay? The air blocks all the good earth too. A lot of water, a lot of earth here. I even look at these two as water and earth, okay? And the fire is kind of that alchemical, flame of transformation. Fire transforms whatever it touches. Okay, and this Ace of Wands is your ability to look at something. The element of fire, the suit of Wands, is related to your vision, right? And what is it? It reminds me of Wayne Dyer. Change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. When you pay attention to something, and quantum physics now, as I've probably known this for years, I don't know much about quantum anything, but when you observe something, you change its behavior. Okay? You transform something just by looking at it. You got the laser vision, So when you shine a little bit of light of your perception onto this complex, it shrivels, it loses its power. So when you find yourself going against what you really feel to please somebody else or to fit in or to just not stand out or something or to not get hurt, or it's a complex that's trying to protect you because it still thinks you're the 5-year-old who is about to touch a hot stove. And the complex says, no, don't touch the hot stove. It's trying to protect you. It's not the enemy. It's part of you. Shining a light on that is saying, no, thank you. Thank you for your service, 3 of Swords. I'll take it from here. This is your will. Give me a heck yes in the comments. Give me a fire, okay? Because this is us taking our power back. And this is us now overcoming that fear or guilt or shame or whatever you want to call it. It might help for you to identify what that is, or maybe not. Maybe you don't have to identify it. Okay? This is you understanding the process of creation on the mental plane. You understand how these kind of autonomous thoughts, the complexes, psychological complexes, tend to drive the boat or the car when we don't want them to. It hijacks your life, okay? And it kind of creates your reality. So what you're doing now is you're removing this by paying attention to it, by saying, no, thank you, I'll take it from here. Acknowledging it, integrating it, saying, okay, thank you, I appreciate you. You prevented me from touching a lot of hot stoves in my life. But now I'm paying attention, I'll take the wheel. And you're directing your life. Okay? And I think that this alignment that you're shifting into right now, at this time in your life, is going to increase your bliss, your emotional fulfillment, your emotional potential, and your financial potential. 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. Okay? The 6 of Cups in the background, for one thing, this tells me that it's something to do with your family in the past kind of led to this hot stove kind of situation. Okay? But the 3 really, the 6 really, is the combination of a 3 and a 3. And so this is really what you're seeking in life. You're seeking community. You want to fit in with a group. You want to fit in with life. You want to feel like you belong. You want to value. You want to feel valued. Okay? That's what a 6 of Cups really is. It's a round table where everybody here is an important member of the family. It's different than the 6 of Pentacles, which is saying everybody here is bringing something equal to the table. So it's still about value, but one is a practical value in saying you're contributing something that's of value to the group. This is saying that you are a person of value in the group. In a way, it's sort of unconditional love. It's acceptance. Okay? It's not being a productive member of a group. It's just being a member of a group that is loved because you're a member of the group, being valued for who you are. And I think that this is what really what we're all seeking in life. And when we want this, but it's kind of distorted by a Three of Swords, we may go against our own nature in order to fit into the group. We want to be loved, right? So we'll change who we are so that we maybe can receive more love. Because maybe as kids, we were taught that if I act a certain way, I won't get love. If I act a different way, I'll get love. Okay? So it's that hot stove situation. I think we're removing this. And we're going to find the love in life because we're starting from a place of love. We're starting from a place of self-love. Okay? Valuing ourselves and taking that power, taking the initiative to live life authentically, knowing that we will find our people. We will find our place in the world. Okay? And if somebody doesn't value you for who you are, they're not your people. Okay? And you don't have to change who you are in order to fit in with that person. And again, suggests to me that there has been some kind of emotional manipulation or gaslighting going on. Not anymore. Okay? Give me a never again in the comments, okay? Let me know that you're still here. Let me know this is resonating with you. The Three of Cups is you loving yourself and sending that love out to the universe, looking for your counterpart. Okay? This is your authentic love, gratitude, joy, abundance. This is saying that your emotional abundance inside of you is ready to connect with the same thing outside there somewhere. Your Three of Cups is looking for a counterpart Three of Cups out there. And when you find it, you get that Six of Cups, right? And that's kind of the emotional fulfillment. You're looking for that harmonious, beautiful, connected, bonding, resonant kind of experience. A consonance, really, right? Consonance, resonating with somebody. Okay? Tuned to the same frequency, not you having to adjust your frequency to resonate with somebody else, but you having your frequency and matching up with somebody who close enough where there's a connection. Yeah. And so it's kind of like your Three of Cups is kind of looking for that corresponding Three of Cups out there in the world, and that's the emotional fulfillment. And I think that there is a key relationship that's happening in your life. Either it is already or it's going to be, where you feel this connection, whether it's with a friend, a group of people, a place even. Maybe it's a romantic thing. Maybe it's like finding your community, finding your people, finding your tribe, finding your family. Okay? Please hit the like button if you need this message today. All right. The Three of Cups is the emotional potential. And what we want to do is we want to realize that potential. Potential energy needs to become kinetic energy. So this love potential is real and authentic, and it begins from inside. And then it can become kinetic energy when you connect it, right? The kinetic energy you connect it with something outside of you. Connect it with a sense of purpose, a place, a thing, a person. It doesn't matter. Okay. What matters is that it is authentic and that it is being done without fear or guilt or shame or any kind of manipulation or gaslighting. Yeah. In the future position, Three of Pentacles, same thing, but on the physical plane. Okay? Now, this might be a situation where you're looking for a deeper emotional, spiritual compatibility, but there also has to be a physical compatibility. This, to me, though, is more about your kind of financial abundance that's tied in with this sense of like valuing yourself, realizing that you have a great potential here for and that you deserve, right? The financial success, the physical abundance, as well as spiritual, emotional abundance. Both of these are potential energies. Guess what? When they connect, you get a Six, right? You get harmony and beauty. You get that flow. And you get that kind of that growth and that expansiveness. You're stepping into a reality where security and, financial security and affection or emotional abundance go hand in hand. And that's beautiful, okay? And you have a willingness now to receive without any kind of guilt, to be yourself and to project your energy and to receive the energy coming back in without that Three of Swords complex getting in the way. Give me a yes if you're claiming this timeline, please. Okay? So I feel like the financial and the emotional worlds are expanding for you. You're coming into that kind of alignment. Now, the path of the serpent, the Hierophant. The Hierophant kind of like, it's this inner wisdom. I think that knows, to me it kind of feels like it is an understanding of how the financial fulfillment or security even kind of goes with that emotional fulfillment too. That even in just a relationship, when we feel safe and secure in a relationship, we're free to sort of be ourselves. So it's kind of like we're reverse engineering that. You know what you hold sacred. You know what is important to you. You know what a meaningful life really would feel like and look like. And now we're creating that, we're cultivating that. Okay? When you are safe and secure and stable in your relationship, okay, you feel that you can be yourself. And there aren't really very many places in the world where we can just go and be completely ourselves. Okay? I think you're finding something pretty close to that ideal. Okay? Something that has quite a bit of harmony and consonance. This is also the card of someone that's grown in wisdom, learned things, And I don't just think from books. I think you've learned through experience. They always say, like, those who can't do, teach. No, I believe only those who have done can teach. Okay, I have some teachers as friends, and we've had discussions about that, and it's just like a life that's been well lived kind of gives somebody the wisdom to pass that wisdom on. You kind of, you've earned the right to have something to say, So I think that you're somebody who is in a position to help others if you choose to go that route with your life, okay? But you have the wisdom to sort of make your own decisions, You're coming from a place where you've made bad decisions before. I would venture a guess and say you probably have at some point in your life, maybe one or two, right? And it kind of gives you the practical wisdom to manage your own life, okay? And I think that this is really an important acknowledgement for you to say that, you don't need anybody telling you how you should feel or what you should want or anything. You are mature enough and wise enough to direct your energy. Okay. It's your time to acknowledge what you hold dear and sacred and to manifest it. And to not let anybody, yourself included, make you feel guilty about that. Or try to manipulate you, or the complex that's trying to prevent you from touching a hot stove. You're saying, I know what I'm doing. You're allowed to cook in the kitchen now. You're an adult, at least I think most of us are. You're allowed to cook in the kitchen, okay? We're not a 5-year-old who's going to touch a hot stove. I know how to handle a saute pan, And it's because you've burned your finger enough times. I think of all these old chefs that I used to watch, like Jacques Pepin, my favorite, and Gordon Ramsay or something, right? They've probably burned themselves so much. And I used to hear them talk about how they so many cuts and burns from being in the kitchen. Well, they're supposed to be these master chefs. Why are they doing? How are they burning their fingers? Like what? No. That's how they became great chefs. Jacques Pepin is only the great chef because he burned his fingers and cut his fingers up a lot, probably. at least from what he used to say on his show. I still love that YouTube has entire playlists of his show, his cooking shows. My absolute favorites. I love him so much. Anyway, the experience that we go through creates in you the master. You gain that experience, and it sort of earns you the right to do what you do. And I think that, like, because you've burned your finger so much, you now, like, have that wisdom and that experience to make your own choices and to kind of pass on what you've learned with other people. Okay? Not any old chef could have a TV show, you know? I think that it's kind of something that we earn in, like, not having a TV show, you know. I don't think, maybe you're on TV, I don't know, I hope you are. Maybe you're on YouTube or something, but having lived and learned gives you the right to make your own decisions and give advice. I feel like you're somebody that, like, people are going to come to you for advice. People can sense that you know something, you have some wisdom in you that other people are going to ask you for. Anyway, so be ready for that, okay? In the environment, you have your Empress energy. That really, to me, feels like a relationship that feels safe, that feels abundant, that feels comforting, feels affectionate. It feels like a place where you can be yourself. Okay? This is almost like a very protective energy. Okay? The Empress is, in terms of a relationship anyway, it's something that is nurturing and nourishing to us. Okay? It's not, and it doesn't have to be romantic. Put your pitchforks away. It could be. But I feel that there is a key relationship or partnership that is going to bring some unexpected blessings to you. Okay? And you are open to receiving those without any kind of guilt or shame. Okay? So I think that you're able to cultivate, just generally in life, cultivate happier relationships with people, more healthy relationships with people. Because there's this self-awareness, this self-acceptance, okay? This inner wisdom that you're acknowledging. You're taking your power back, you're being authentic, you're striving to always live that authentic life and be true to who you are. And that's allowing you to build healthy relationships with people where there's reciprocity. It's where it's the two-way street, okay? And kind of the more you give to these relationships, the more they give back to you. Not transactional, but mutually supportive. It's a family. And this is each member of the family doing what they need to do to kind of to nurture the family and to strengthen the bond. Okay? In a way, this is unconditional. Yeah. So I think your emotional fulfillment and your physical or financial fulfillment are coming into play big time right now. Now, please hit that subscribe button. And I would love to hear your interpretation of this message, how this is playing out for you in your life, or perhaps what that hot stove is, okay, that sometimes you're kind of refusing to, like, allow yourself to do, or there's something in you that is inhibiting you from really having the life that you want, or from believing that your authenticity matters, okay, or believing even that you're allowed to be who you are and to live your truth. Okay. In the position of the fear, worry, and concern is the Princess of Cups. And this is emotion to behavior. This is us kind of worried that our surface level emotions are going to drive the car, drive the boat. We're going to run toward pleasure and run away from pain. Okay? Because that, in a way, is kind of the complex driving the boat. That complex is saying, oh no, that's a hot stove over there, go the other way. That's going to hurt, don't do that. That over there is going to feel good, go do that. And so we don't want to direct our life that way. We don't want to let that energy make decisions for us, because then we're self-medicating. Then we're just kind of leading a kind of a hedonistic lifestyle in certain sense, chasing things that feel good or feel pleasant or make us happy. Okay? And then we think of the complex that's doing that, because when I act a certain way, I get attention from people and people love me. And I think as kids, when complexes are typically formed when we're children, that's kind of how we learn. Okay, if I act this way, I get good feelings, I get love. When I act a certain way, I don't get love. Okay, it's like a kid who is having a hard time with some big emotions, and they're crying and they're yelling and they're kind of throwing a fit, like kids do. And then their parents refuse to love them. Okay, and then the kid thinks, well, okay, so me having big feelings and feeling that way is wrong. I have to feel and I have to act a certain way, and then my parents will show me affection and show me love, right? And so then as adults, we get into that mode too. And now, as kids, I have a 5-year-old daughter, as you may or may not know. And sometimes she has a bad day. Sometimes she gets a little mean. Sometimes she has her, kind of uncontrollable emotions like kids do. And I try my best to still be gentle with her, firm but gentle, and let her know that, that I still love her and respect her, and that my feelings for her haven't changed at all, but that we need to sort of try to harmonize our behavior. Because I want her to feel that it's safe for her to feel how she feels. And if she's feeling upset or disappointed or scared or nervous or whatever, angry about something, that's okay. And that actually means something. Now, of course, as we get older, hopefully our behaviors change. Hopefully when we're angry, we don't get on the ground and start kicking our legs and flailing our arms, and having a tantrum. Some of us do still, but hopefully our behavior matures, but that we can still feel how we feel. I think a lot of us, as we get older, we learn what versions of me is acceptable to the rest of the world and what versions of me are not. And so then we start to really mold and shape our thoughts, words, deeds, our feelings, and our behaviors to get the most pleasure out of the world, the most love back. That's what the Princess of Cups does. That's not what you want to do right now. You're going to feel how you feel. Now, the thing is that you don't want to throw a tantrum. You don't want to just be like, well, you know what, I'm having a bad day, and guess what? All of y'all are going to have a bad day too. It doesn't have to be like that. But for you to feel in your life that it's okay for you to feel how you feel, and not to feel guilty about feeling. Not for somebody else in your life, surely, to tell you that you shouldn't be feeling how you feel, or that you're wrong to feel that way. Because that's manipulation, that's gaslighting, okay? The 9 of Pentacles at the end, that is gain, that is progress, that is profit, okay? I feel that is really a financial connection that you're making. And I really do want to hear about how this is all tying together for you in terms of the emotional fulfillment and the financial fulfillment, okay? I feel like when they're both kind of walking hand in hand, it seems that you're really making a lot of progress. This is your life trajectory going up and to the right. That your everything in your life, physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, things are working. Things are getting better. Things are progressing. And I think your emotional trajectory going up and to the right, your financial, portfolio is going up and to the right. And I think it all comes from you being authentic, being yourself, and trying to overcome the complexes that are inhibiting you from, going after the things that you truly want. Inhibiting you from feeling how you feel and trusting yourself and trusting your vision and trusting your identity. Now, please, let's light up the comments with some positivity. All right, let's do it. Let's go. I want you to claim this card. It's called gain. Okay? It is going up and to the right in every aspect, every dimension of your life. is getting better and expanding. I think primarily the focus is on the physical, financial, and the emotional fulfillment. Emotional gains abundance. Your emotional world is expanding. Your financial world is expanding together. And I think there's a correlation. I think when your emotional trajectory is kind of going down, then you find your physical, even physical health, and your financial health is kind of going down too. If you were to plot two lines on a graph, one is your emotional life, one is your financial or physical life, you'll see that they kind of move in parallel. When one starts going down, the other starts going down too. And especially your physical health. When your physical health declines, your emotional well-being declines. When your emotional health starts rising, your physical health gets better too, okay? They're linked. So plot those two graphs, plot those lines on a chart and see how they kind of function together. There's a correlation there, okay? Let's look at the mystery card. Let's see, maybe the Temperance card, maybe the Justice card, your superpower card. Maybe another card of authenticity, maybe a Knight of Cups, which would be kind of, an authentic, passionate kind of, a very raw expression of who you are. Living authentically, right? You're operating from this place of authenticity, but maybe we need the outward expression of that. So I think a Knight of Cups would be appropriate. If you have a prediction, though, Libra, put it in the comments down below. Let's take a look. The Lovers. Oh, yeah. The Lovers is the choice. Doesn't necessarily mean romance. I feel like this is choosing unity. It's the card of unity, really. Choosing to unite with something. This is the 1000% heck yes card. Give me a heck yes in the comments if you're claiming this. If you're choosing yourself, if you're choosing unity, you're choosing authenticity, knowing that it's going to lead to profit, expansion, gains, abundance, and growth in every area of your life. This to me is also the balance of opposites. So to me, this is kind of like your physical existence and your emotional existence are about to hold hands and start moving together in the same direction, okay? We kind of see that. It looks like these two people are just about to hold hands. The union is just about to happen. You got to make the choice to kind of hold your own hand. And that's why I think it's a really, this is a nice confirmation, because I said that your physical security and your emotional security are going hand in hand, are kind of joining forces. Well, that's what's about to happen here, but you have to choose it. Your authenticity is what chooses to unite, okay? Chooses your physical and emotional life to hold hands. And maybe it really is through a key individual coming into your life. And it may be a romance. It very well could be. It could be a platonic thing. It could be a family thing. It could be a best friend. It could be you finding a group where you feel that kind of safety and you feel that kind of acceptance and love. Finding that sense of community. Okay? And I know that you feel this shift happening too. Let me know in the comments. This is extraordinary. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner here. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Libra, Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.